China is a threat to the West, and they are watching us. Welcome back to Bible Bears, everyone. I'm Ryder Cullison. Do you remember that scene from Lord of the Rings when Gandalf finds out that his best buddy, Saruman, is actually sleeping with the enemy, so to speak? And then Saruman goes crazy and attacks Gandalf? Okay, in a recent interview, Rudy Giuliani called Hunter Biden a bagman. This is, of course, in light of the recent scandal involving Hunter Biden and the laptop and the secret emails to, like, Ukraine and China and so on that Twitter and Facebook have censored, and they've locked the New York Post account for even tweeting about it. Basically, one political party and all their big tech friends don't want you to know anything about this story, so there's plenty of people speculating, including Rudy Giuliani. He said of Hunter Biden, he's collecting Joe's bribes that come to about $12 million from the Ukraine, $3.5 million from Russia, and Rudy alleges the big money comes from China, tens of millions of dollars. He suggests Joe is owned by the Communist Party. And what does China get for tens of millions of dollars from Joe? Supposedly, Joe is a big propagandist for the Chinese party. Well, is that true? We haven't heard anything about the virus. We haven't heard anything about the Uyghurs. We haven't heard anything about the persecution going on in China. He allegedly has a history of downplaying any of China's offenses against the world. What offenses do you speak of? Well, I will get into a list of those. Well, for starters, while we're busy blaming Trump for all 200,000 COVID deaths, nobody's mentioning the fact that China is the one that manufactured the virus, unleashed it on a population either willingly or unwillingly through incompetence, and then covered it up. No culpability there. In China, crosses must be removed from churches and replaced with the five-pointed star. Those people in those churches must recognize that the party is the main leader, and that basically they're supposed to worship the Chinese government, not any other deity, especially not God. There was a Chinese teacher imprisoned simply for sharing her faith to a group of kindergartners. There was a Christian bookseller sent to prison. All of his books have been basically burned, destroyed, so his whole livelihood is down the tube. So when he gets out of prison, he's got nothing to come back to. Churches in China have been torn down during the pandemic. This isn't the beginning. I mean, churches were torn down before the pandemic, but now that they can send all these people home and say, you can't come to worship, they've got a great opportunity to tear down churches. Oh, look, break out the s'mores. China prohibits any copying of any religious material. Now, I'm talking like even if you photocopied hymns, you could get disappeared, as they put it. You could get thrown in jail, your business could get shut down. One business owner said, I dare not do it. They come into your business, look through all your files, your computer files. They look through your sales records to see who you may have sold anything religious to. Then they go after those people. They rifle through your trash. They are thorough. They want to make sure nobody is worshiping anybody but the Chinese government, because they don't want anyone that could dissent to their authority. Now, how does China get away with any of this? In America, if you don't bake a cake for the right person, you could have your business shut down. But in China, you can infringe on everybody's liberties, and somehow nobody shines a spotlight on them. Well, I'll tell you how. Like Giuliani alleged with Biden, China is buying the world's silence. How do you mean China is buying the world's silence? Well, they buy it through investment. Let's take the Uyghurs, for example. If you've watched one of my past videos on the Uyghurs, you will know that they're an ethnic group that are indigenous to China, but they are Muslim. And they are routinely rounded up, thrown in internment camps. They are used for slave labor. Yes, that's right. Some of the devices that you have, mobile devices, may have parts in them that are made by slave labor. They are forced to undergo sterilization. They are forced to have abortions. They have been tortured, raped, murdered. These are the Uyghurs. Check out one of my other videos on it. Why does the world turn a blind eye to this? Well, a lot of people aren't, but a lot of people are. Turkey used to take in Uyghur refugees. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because their economy is flailing and they are dependent on China to come in and invest and save it. And this is going on all around the world. China has a publicity problem, so they invest in newspapers around the world and in other businesses, and they get people to turn around their image, massage it, turn a blind eye to it. China is getting away with more and more atrocities. The Uyghurs, this is basically genocide, and they're persecuting Christians, as I just read to you. Listen, China is the enemy of the free peoples of the West. We are Rohan, we are Gondor, and they are the new Mordor. Now, maybe they're not invading us with orcs and stuff, but they are buying our compliance. In Hollywood, it's the same thing. They've become such a big market over there, we don't dare create any movie that might somehow paint China in an unsavory light. And other people are recognizing that. Mulan was filmed partly in the same province where the Uyghurs are, and people said, "Whoa, Disney, why did you do that? And why did you give special thanks to the government that is persecuting the Uyghurs? This is insane." But we make so much movie money in China. The NBA is silent on the way China is cracking down on democracy in Hong Kong. Why? Because the NBA makes money over there. China is buying our silence while they get away with everything. Is Biden going to be strong enough to stand up against them? I don't know. I think Biden is on the basketball court. He's like a high school player that's just gotten to play with LeBron James, and he's just so excited he's just going to keep dishing the ball to LeBron. It's just an honor to be on the court with him. In this metaphor, LeBron is China, and Biden's the high school basketball player. We need somebody to stand up to China. Now, maybe that's not Trump. Someone in one of these town halls or at a debate or somewhere on the road needs to call him out and say, what are you going to do about the Christian persecution? You're a Catholic. What do you say to that? What are you going to do about the persecution of Uyghurs? You care about these people? What are you going to do? Biden, for all I know, he's going to lift the trade embargo and all the sanctions on China. He's going to keep stuff in his pocket with Chinese money. It's not right. Now listen, this is not at all an assault on the people of China. That's a great culture. I've never been there, but we all know China is rich in history and has made so many contributions to the world, and that their own people are upset with their government and how they're cracking down on democracy and how they're cracking down on religion. The fastest growing Christian church is in China. Those are our brothers and sisters. So what I am asking you is to please pray, not just for the citizens of China, but for the Chinese government. Because President Jinping, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, he needs prayer. He needs to be shown the light. It's not too late for him, just because he's a communist, atheistic dictator. It's not too late. It's never too late. We can reach them, unless you think it's preordained. By the way, we need to start standing up, recognizing, not burying our head in the sand, that power is rising. They're already here. They're already here. What are we going to do? Guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. I can't ever say that right. The bell notification so that you will be alerted whenever I post new videos. Thank you, and as always, I love you. Have a blessed week.